Couple of changes in this Bulldogs lineup, but one constant is Matt Burton. He's rising in form, potentially just in time to be considered for a centre's berth for New South Wales. Don't know about the 5/8 role, but certainly he will be a factor in Michael Maguire's calculations ahead of game one.
Yeah, without a doubt, Warren. His form's been terrific. As I said, taking the captaincy away from him has just relaxed him back into that frame of mind that he likes, where he can just play with freedom, not just sitting back and waiting for other people to do things or trying to organise everything and just worry about his end of sets. He's attacking the game, he's running the footy, he's linking with kick out. He's been unlocking his fullbacks, whether it's been Taff or Connor Tracy. And a great opportunity again this afternoon to keep pressing himself towards an origin berth.
We are underway, the first of 3 games on Super Saturday. Burton with the kickoff. It goes down to Lachlan Galvin, and David Clemmer brings it out here to play it just beyond the Tigers' 10. Good contact from Max King. So Simpkin in there at dummy half for Api Coruscant. It is a huge blow, quite obviously, for the Tigers. Simpkin feeds it again here as Galvin turns it back underneath for Uta Ikamanu, who takes it just beyond the 20. It's taken them 3 plays to get there as Bateman, the lock forward now, moved into the middle of the field with Samuela Fainu now an edge forward in the run-on side for a number of weeks for Benji Marshall as Clemmer brings it back within 10 of the halfway line. Simpkin goes back to Caesar, the left-footed kicker on the right side, under pressure there from Reid Marnie. Didn't quite get there in time, but there will be more pressure on Caesar as the game goes on. And Adokar will play it here just inside his own 30.
Yeah, just a physical start that Cameron Ciraldo would be after from his side. Great line speed and collision, and Reid Marnie and Sam Hughes, who's come into the starting side this afternoon in the prop position. Great kick pressure there on Aidan Susan already. The Dogs now on the 3rd tackle, up over the 40-metre line.
Here is King bringing it back towards the 50 as Hutchison was up there waiting for a chance. Marnie flat ball there, coming away to Blake Taff. Into the side for Connor Tracy, who a late exclusion for the Bulldogs. Now Burton showing it, goes wide, comes across to Bronson Sherry, who puts it on the toe, knocked backwards. It was a touch by the Tigers, and it will be 6 more tackles here for the Bulldogs. Now Bronson Sherry, there wasn't much happening there at the back end of the set. A bit of luck. Make your own luck.
Dummy half, having a scoop.
What they have done, yes, as Kickow takes it down here just outside the 20. Marnie now comes to Hutchison. Here is King, who heads towards the uprights. Standing there looking for an offload for a moment, nothing doing. They're midway through this set. Bit of shape about that left edge as Hutchison goes through Taff and then Burton. The ball goes to ground, and this time it does come unstuck, but there will be a penalty for the Tigers being offside.
Gee, it's been a weekend so far of penalties and set restarts, hasn't it? And a little bit of luck going the way of the Dogs there. Nice to see Taff injecting himself into the back line, unlinking Burton on that left edge. And Casey Badger, the referee this afternoon, saying the whole line was offside, so the Dogs a great opportunity now to find first points.
Well, it's Viliami Kikau, who's a different player in 2024, of course. Injuries last season didn't help his cause, but he's refreshed. New mental approach, he said, certainly is having a great effect. The rugby league he's playing. King heads towards the uprights. Tigers desperate to keep them out here early on as the Bulldogs search out to this right-hand side. Burton tipped on Crichton. Carraz puts the brakes on, comes back in field. There, though, to save the day, a heads-up piece of play, and it was Jake Simpkin.
Yeah, really nice work there from the Bulldogs. The catch and pass sublime from Crichton to Carraz. They're building a really formidable combination together, and there you see Carraz just lacking a little patience, couldn't help but resist the pass to Hutchison back inside, but Simpkin, as you said, Warren, terrifically positioned and saves the try for the Tigers.
Caesar will go long. Kick it down here to Hutchison, who works with King, who winds up and brings it back. Going low was Jake Simpkin. Courageous tackle there on a charging front rower, bringing it back as Marnie works it through man. Comes to Sam Hughes. Scored a try 2 weeks ago before the bye against the Newcastle Knights, and that big win right here for the Bulldogs. Back inside the 20. And another set restart. Flow of possession here for the Bulldogs to begin this game. They've had all the ball pretty much. Hutchison comes back. From Taff it goes to Burton, takes them on. Just couldn't get the ball back on the inside there for Taff. From Salmon, he feeds it back towards the middle. Marnie goes to man, a juggle. Bounces off the shoulder there of Papali'i, and then tries to get to his feet to go again. They'll stop him 15 out. Still plenty of tackles here for the home side as Burton shows it. Taken down there by Fainu, and some help from Galvin as well. Comes back to Hutchison. Here is Man. Sherry was very close to the action there on the inside. Man will be stopped as a result in the middle of the field, and now here's Taff rubbering. Pressure here. In fact, it'll go dead. Dogs didn't get a clean jump there. I don't know that anybody knew the kick was coming, as it turned out. Yeah,
really nice work from the Tigers. Great resilience on their goal line. The Dogs moving the ball from side to side, testing the edge defence early. And a couple of really good reads from the Tigers early will please their coaches. Staines carrying the footy, hit hard there by Hughes.
Now, if the Tigers work it away, we go downstairs to Jake Duke.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good news is the rain is holding off at the moment, so conditions not too bad down here at ground level. Nice and cool. A slight breeze behind the Tigers in this first half. And Benji Marshall's men, they are still struggling to get their combinations going, scoring a competition low 18 tries so far this season, while the Dogs, on the other hand, they are scoring their most points since 2016. So opposing fortunes so far. Let's see what they dish up this afternoon.
Tigers get a chance here as Bateman pops it out the back, and it ends up in the hands of Simpkin, who will play it about 25 metres out. Last play here for the Tigers. Comes across to Galvin. We'll chip it towards the corner. Fainu was there, had a look at the referee and thought he may have been called out of it, and then as a result, Blake Taff brings it a long way back. Is that a result of what happened last week against the Broncos, where he made a tackle? Remember, they were bringing it back to their 20. He made a tackle, and it cost the Tigers dearly. He went to the sin bin. We'll come back to that in a moment. That was curious. Sherry, a long run. Goes to Addo-Carr. Works it away from dummy half. The Bulldogs, the easy way out of their own end, courtesy of that mix-up with Fainu on the kick chase. Now Salmon comes across to Crichton. Big fend there on... Oh, and he gets up and goes again. Runs towards Buller, who takes him down. What a run by Stephen Crichton. Marnie. He comes to Hutchison. His man going wider still from Burton to Kickow, hugging that left touchline. He's only 10 metres out, and the Dogs have one more play. Sherry at dummy half. Comes to Burton. He'll kick across the face of the uprights. Crichton is there again, backwards from the Tigers. It ends up in the hands of Olam after Ale Marlaw couldn't quite come up with it.
That was brilliant from Crichton. Nice bit of ball movement out to the right-hand side. Gee, you don't see Justin Olam bumped off and palmed off the way that we just saw Crichton move down that right-hand side. That was special. Just watch this, just bumps, then gets the fend out. Watch him change hands at full flight here to try and get rid of Buller. That's brilliant as we see another penalty now. Casey Badger getting the Dogs offside, and that's a relieving penalty for the Tigers.
They have been under huge pressure here, West, to begin this game, but they've hung on, which they didn't do against the Broncos. Benji Marshall, the pre-game talking to you, and Jake Mick said it's all about defence and the attack will come. He'd like to see more attack today, but he's more worried about what they do without the ball and when they have it at the moment at this stage of their development.
He'd be really pleased at the moment. Last week, a little lackadaisy. Adam Reynolds kicked them off the park in that opening half at Campbelltown, but they've shown some great fight early defensively.
Not much doing here. 35 metres out. Slow play the ball, or carry at least from Clemmer as Caesar comes across to Galvin. Saw Kickow and weaved away from him. Good work, Lachlan. And now from Buller. Comes back to the middle where Caesar wanted somebody underneath him and ends up in the hands of Fainu. Wrestled to the ground eventually by Hutchison and also Jamin Salmon. 4 tackles gone in this set. Caesar will kick a tackle early. Naden on the chase, also pushing through with Staines. And they'll wrap up the Fox. Josh Adokar inside the Bulldogs 10. See what they can do here defensively, the Tigers, at this end of the field, and try and limit the metres of the Bulldogs, who found the easy way out a couple of times already.
Yeah, I reckon they need to straighten their attack. The Tigers trying to go left towards Justin Along. Stephen Crichton just so hard to get around on that edge now on that right side. And then you head to the left and you get that pressure out of the line from Viliami, Kickout and Burton. They might need to straighten their attack and come through the middle, the Tigers.
The King carry here brings it back beyond the 44, the Bulldogs, as Burton kicks into space there between Buller and also Staines. Brings it back, steps kick out. That was clever. Look at him go now. Fends away from Burton as well, who grabs him by the coattails only. Terrific kick return by Jareem Buller. Now Staines. So on 2 plays, they're almost back at the halfway line. Here's Justin Olam just launching himself and looking to earn his team a set restart.
Possession really starting to swing now for the West Tigers. Great carry there from Justin Olam on the back of a wonderful kick return from Jareem Buller, and all of a sudden now Bateman ball playing inside the 40-metre line of the Tigers. They need to throw a little more than what they threw last set though.
There's Galvin on the left-hand side. Fainu into space, grabbed there by Crichton, but only just. Desperate tackle made by the Canterbury skipper. Comes back to the middle for Galvin. Standing in the Marnie tackle, delivers to Simpkin. Now Bateman keeps it going. Caesar out the back from Buller. It bypasses Naden. Not knocked on, says the referee.
More, yes.
And it will be 6 more plays. The Bulldogs got a touch, not the Tigers. Uta Ikamanu stands, another offload, almost a mix-up there between Clemmer and Bateman. And it's the front rower who has it. 5 metres out when he plays it from Simpkin to Bateman. Uta Ikamanu back on the inside, another offload. And now Caesar charging hard. Taken down there by King and stopped by Mann. Simpkin comes back to Bateman. He saw space, pops it out the back, knocked on by Crichton, and the Tigers will hang on to it.
Yeah, that's much better from the Tigers. Started with Galvin playing arrows straight and linking up with Samuela Fainu, who has become a real handful on this left-hand side the last fortnight, coming into the starting side for Marshall. And then Aiden Caesar just charging back through the middle, much more direct from the Tigers, challenging the Dogs' inside shoulder defence. And on the back of it, they're going to get themselves a really good opportunity here to find first points of the afternoon. I'd be going to Buller on that right-hand side.
5 offloads to 0. The way the Tigers, I dare say all 5 of them, have come in the last minute and a half. Here's Galvin off the scrum win. Almost finding a way between Kickow and also King. And it's going to be a penalty for high contact here. And the Tigers, with all this possession, will be tempted to take the 2 to take the lead. They might just tap it and say, come on, let's keep the pressure on, which is exactly what... No, Caesar changed his mind.
It's been a great start from Lockie Galvin. We spoke about the absence of Api Coruscant, who has been the focal point of their attack. And this afternoon, I knew he'd do it. I had no reservations at all that Lockie Galvin, who has just got this stone-cold persona about him where he just fears no one. Still a baby at high school this time last year. And he's just demanding the footy, taking on the Dogs' line, running the ball, and continually challenging them in the opening 14 minutes of this match. It's been a great start from the young Tigers, 5'8".
From Westfield Sports High School straight into first grade pretty much, and he has been enormous for them so far. A team that has 2 wins and 5 losses, and at 18 years of age he's opened plenty of eyes as Aiden Caesar tries to give the Tigers the lead, and that'll be a victory in itself given the pressure they were under in the opening 5 minutes of this game. Caesar puts flags in the air, and it's the Tigers who lead the Bulldogs 2 points to 0. 2 teams met twice in 2023. Bulldogs won on both occasions, of course. The Bulldogs well rested coming off the bye last week. The Tigers went down 34-10 to the Broncos down there at Campbelltown. A couple of late tries made that scoreline look a little better. And Cameron Ciraldo, season 2. Benji Marshall, first season in charge of the Tigers.
I think it's a sign of respect, actually. That's how much the Dogs' defence has improved. I think 12 months ago, the West Tigers take the tap there. But they have been terrific defensively, struggling to find a way through the Tigers, taking the shot at goal.
They'll have the lead. They'll work it away here from their own goal line. Kick-off return, and Clemmer brings it out to be stopped just short of the 20. Simkin waits from dummy half. He just joined us. No Api Coruscant today. Out with that back injury he suffered when he was slammed to the turf at Campbelltown last week as Galvin goes to Caesar. Here's a chance. Buller over the top to Naden. He's got Staines on his outside. He runs to Taff, draws and passes, and the Tigers go the length of the field. A big shift from inside their own 20, and they caught the Bulldogs compressed on that left-hand side, and the speed of Staines was there to finish it off.
Well, Benji Marshall said to us pre-game, he said, we're going to move the ball, and we're going to move the ball at their left edge, and they do just that. Galvin, beautiful play, linking up with his halves partner, Caesar. Buller does a superb job to attract some Bulldogs defenders and get the ball over the top to Naden at full speed. And he summed it up beautifully. He looked in at Galvin, and he had the Forbes Ferrari just looming on his outside. Positioned himself perfectly. That's beautiful work there. From Buller over the top to Naden. Watch this. Inside, outside, and just drags in Taff. It's a foot race between him and Carraz. And he's lightning quick, Staines. And they find their first try of the afternoon. That was brilliant.
That could have been 2005. That's how brilliant that was. Benji Marshall out there himself, the likes of Brett Hodgson and Scotty Prince. That was breathtaking. The Tigers using the ball from their own end of the field and going the best part of 80 metres. Staines to score to make it 6 points to 0. What a replay that was, courtesy of Harvey Norman.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? Just well executed. No fear of making a mistake. The conditions here are terrific. Down at ground level, the surface was fast. You'd hardly know that there's been any rain here the last 48 hours. And using the width, brilliant.
Caesar trying to bend it back. He will. After absorbing pressure to begin the game, the Tigers are well on top here against the Bulldogs at 8 points to 0.
The Bulldogs had 11 tackles inside the Tigers 20. They withstand that barrage, go down the other end, pick up 2 points, and then some shifting inside their own half, which hasn't been a strength of the Tigers so far this season. As we mentioned off the top, they have struggled to score points. A competition low, 18 points, and none of them coming out of their own half. They make a break there, and all their big players are involved. Buller, Caesar, Galvin, but no Api Coruscant. Those guys need to stand up, and then they find Charlie Staines on the end of that. Scored a double against the Broncos last week. His first try of the season. Gets another one tonight.
We have got a contest here to kick things off on Super Saturday. The Tigers through Uta Ikamanu brings it back, running over the top of Bulldogs defenders.
So he's had an opportunity the last fortnight up against some of the world-class props in our game. Fisher Harris, Liotta, Carrigan, Haas. And I thought he'd been a little reserved due to Ikamanu after the way that he started the season. He's come out of a cannon for Benji Marshall here against the Bulldogs. A really improved and fast start from Uta Ikamanu.
The inside ball here, second play in a row. The Tigers going nowhere off the back of it. Bateman well picked off, and likewise Papali'i there. Clemmer. Momentum here at the back end of the set, and they'll kick from inside their 40. Caesar again under pressure there from Kickow, and he is the best in the business, Kickow, with a charge down. He'll like his chances today. Caesar out there on the right edge, but kicking with the left foot under pressure from the inside.
Yeah, it needed to be good, Warren. They were ordinary last week with their end of sets, and Benji Marshall said just that, and he spoke to us again just about how important it was this afternoon where Canterbury started their sets, and great kick there from Aidan Caesar. Low, flat, deep into that far corner.
Carraz here for the Bulldogs. Brings it back to almost their 40 as Marnie goes wide to man, and then Sam Hughes working off him. Bulldogs trying to mix things up and work these Tigers forwards around from sideline to sideline. Man again, kick out. Running hard, but well taken by Aiden Caesar. Might have hurt himself as well. A penalty here to the Bulldogs.
Gee, stopped him dead in his tracks. I thought it was a great tackle. There must have been a shot here because Caesar gets bumped off. It must be this one here. Oh, he just collects the knee, yeah. I was going to say, it didn't look like a high tackle.
They had already asked.
Just an accidental knee there from Papali'i.
Right, Jerry, we have a captain's challenge from Tigers on the decision of contact with the head.
You saw it there. There was nothing wrong with the contact of Aiden Caesar, and then coming across Papali'i.
I love that.
Viliami kick out falls in the tackle. There is no careless action by Isaiah Papali'i, and the head makes contact with Isaiah Papali'i's leg.
Yeah,
the challenge is successful.
I love when a half just gets his body in front. We don't reward that enough. And Aiden Caesar there, that was great courage from the veteran. Kick out at full speed, isolated, and he just got his body in front and did enough.
And the Tigers challenge, correctly so. Good call by the bunker. There was nothing wrong with what Papali'i did. It was just one of those rugby league accidents, as Buller will make a catch here inside his own 10 and brings it back to begin things here for the Tigers. They lead 8 points to 0, not quite midway through this opening half, and well, promising signs. Search for their 3rd win of the season. Here's Justin Olam.
Bit of granite, isn't he? Just launches himself every time.
From day one, he's been that way and will be until he hangs them up at some point. Great pickup for the Tigers in 2024. Clemmer now. Caesar comes out to Buller again. Here they go again. A ball over the top, touched there by Naden and not forward. Staines on the chase. But there's no doubt the touch there from Naden went forward.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But again, the right side attack for the Tigers. It was Clemmer this time. Got the ball a little late, but was so deep into the line. Great skill to find the pass out the back. Buller did beautifully. Addo-Carr just doing enough to hold on. Had he have reeled that in, Naden, him and Staines were away again on that far side. His Buller's had some nice touches early, hasn't he?
Certainly has. You thought coming into this game that with Bronson Xerri in good form in recent times and Kickow out there on that side working off Matt Burton. It might have been the Tigers' right edge, which would have been up against it defensively. Well, it's the other way around. The Tigers' right-hand side trying to torch that left edge of the Bulldogs, and they've got one result, almost another one just then.
Well, I love Marshall's mindset. He said the only way to limit them is to put them under fatigue and go after them, and they're doing just that at the moment.
There's Marnie feeding it to Mann, comes across to Hughes, who works it towards the Tigers' 40. Quick play the ball. He fell over in doing so, dragged down by Aiden Caesar, who says, what am I supposed to do? Because you can't play the ball and then fall over off the back of it, but in the opinion of the referee, Caesar helping to drag down Hughes here. Boy, he got lucky there because he planted the ball on the ground while he was still on his knees.
He also had locked his leg in too, Hughes, but the Dogs get a little bit of luck there. Burton drives it towards the eastern touchline. But now a full set. Well, they can't let this lead go. They've worked too hard to get in front. The Tigers defensively and with the ball.
That's Hughes to begin this chance inside the Tigers' 20. Marnie looking to the short side. Didn't see a mismatch there, so comes across to King on this open side of the field. Tries to offload a ball there, but hangs on to it. That was clever. Now Hutchison works it to Burton. Flat pass, Xerri. Well marked there by Brenton Naden, but again, the Tigers on this right-hand side just jumping the gun.
Yeah, they had to. Jareem Buller just not getting his numbers right there. A lot of congestion around the ruck, and they had no choice out there. And so the experienced half Caesar jams up. And Dean to be offside. Naden followed him, but the Dogs now. Possession, big block of it down on the try line.
And it's Bronson Xerri who takes the first carry. Got rocked for his trouble there as well. Slowly off the ground. Mann bringing it forward. They've had plenty of chances in this first half at this end for no result as yet. The Bulldogs. Marnie comes to Hutchison, looking back on the inside, takes them on himself, just about finds a way through. Quick play the ball into space. Kurt Mann just gets in behind Aiden Caesar. The Tigers, with the speed of the play the ball from Hutchison, were struggling again. And eventually the Dogs find a way through Kurt Mann.
Yeah, the crafty number 9. Reed Marnie's had a great start to the year. He's had the most try assists in the competition from any hooker. And again here, Aiden Caesar just jams out of the line and he sums it up beautifully, Marnie. Papali'i coming in tight there on Hughes, left the space for Kurt Mann just to slice straight through. And beautiful pass selection from Reed Marnie, who's been in terrific form. Not only has he got through a mountain of defensive work for the Bulldogs again this year, his pass selection close to the line has been back to its absolute best after a little quiet period last year.
You saw on that replay there, Mann just sliding underneath Aiden Caesar, who knew they were in trouble.
Pops in late to start with.
John Bateman asking the question about the penalty which led to that Bulldogs possession. What was the problem? And I heard Casey Badger say just he got there too late, Aiden Caesar, and stayed involved in the tackle, and hence the penalty to the Bulldogs. Matt Burton gets a couple of metres closer. That'll help. He tries to bring this back to just a 2-point game. It's a big body, Drew Hutchison, from close range, and you see him a number of times during the game just trying to launch himself at the line and use that size to get through. And he didn't get through, but he provided the speed of the play the ball that had the Tigers really struggling.
Benji Marshall going to his bench. 2 starting front rowers who have had to defend big blocks of possession. Utui Kamanu and Clemmer off the field as Burton adds the extra, squeezes it inside that right upright.
Well, a good one here to kick things off on Super Saturday. 8 points to 6 it is. And here's a situation where Brent Naden comes down on the back of Bronson Sherry. That's why he was slowly off the ground in that play the ball, and Brent Naden has been placed on report. For the match review committee to look at tomorrow morning. The Tigers with Aiden Caesar will get us back underway. 2 big games to follow this one. The Titans up against the Storm. Game 200 for Cameron Munster. And following that, the Cowboys are up against the Dolphins. Good lineup of action right here on Super Saturday on Fox League. Sam Hughes brings it back. Solid opening stint for him. Here we are in minute 25 of this opening half. Well, there's the curse. Sorry, Sam.
We've got an incredible knack. You're right, he has. He's had a good start to the game. Sam Hughes, 5 runs, 40 metres. It's been a handful, breaking a number of tackles. And that time just ball squeezing out in the collision there, and all of a sudden now, after momentum going in favour of the Dogs, they're back under pressure defending their line.
From midfield, Caesar with the scrum feed. Well, Simpkin, and now here is Buller. A nice step there on Hutchison. He's hard to handle today. Jareem Buller gets some attention there from Crichton on the ground. At least been a restarted set, you would have thought, given the slowness of the play the ball, and teams almost purposely give away penalties or restarts in that situation. Here's Bateman. Comes to Caesar. Short ball there for Papali'i. Did well to hang on to it under attention from Marnie. Now Simpkin finds Caesar again. Change here for the Tigers, as you mentioned, with Fanua Bolle taking some stopping, Mick. Goes very close there. It will be a knock-on against the replacement forward. Fresh on the field first carry. He's trying to convince teammates that they should challenge, and they will.
Coming to tackle 4, we have a captain's challenge from the Tigers on the decision of lost ball at the first strip.
Yeah, Fanua Bolle's been one of their best.
It's looking to determine how the ball comes
9
out.
weeks of the competition. Let's have a look here. Hands all over the ball. Oh, no doubt there's a stripping motion there from one of the Dogs players. No doubt about it.
Just looking for an alternate angle. Sam Hughes pulls the ball out, the challenge is successful.
It looked like Kurt Mann, in fact, didn't it?
Yeah.
Whose hand was there.
Sam Hughes. Let's go.
Either way, it'll be a penalty to the Tigers, 2 challenges and 2 correct results to this point. They lead 8 points to 6. I imagine they're thinking, let's have a crack here and add to this scoreline and push it out to, again, at least a converted try, and that's what they will do. Simpkin, just the spot. Here's Alex Twile to play it only a couple of metres out. Simpkins waiting. It comes back here from Caesar to Galvin. Oh, very flat-footed there. No speed at all. Caesar just stood there, and as a result, Galvin gets monstered in the tackle. Josh Curran is out there now. Marnie involved as well. Cost the Tigers 15 metres. Bolle going back in the right direction. Now they've got some momentum as Bateman cuts back in behind to play the ball. Putting pressure there on Marnie and also King. From Simpkin. Short pull here. They'll crash their way in. Yes, they will. Terrific piece of play for Bolle. From close range, he just charged onto it and said, here I am, stop me if you can, and he scores for the Tigers.
Yeah, just saying that I think he's been one of their best. He'd been in the starting side, now been relegated back to the bench with Bateman starting in the 13 jumper, but nice work there from Simpkin. Back into the side this afternoon with no Appy Coruscant. Was a schoolboy star, Jake Simpkin. Played in that Queensland star-studded side that was littered with players like Sam Walker, Xavier Coates, Tessie New, Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow, and gets another opportunity at the top level this afternoon. Nice short ball there for Bolle.
You might have heard the reaction of the Bulldogs fans here in Accor Stadium when they saw that ball come down short of the line, and no doubt it did come down short, but there was momentum in the opinion of the referee, who had a great look at it, and yes, they're waiting for the bunker. The bunker says try confirmed. And given what we saw, a good call.
Yeah, thick, athletic, nice late footwork from Fanua Bolle. Hard to handle close to the line. And they've found a bit of joy, the Tigers, playing a little more direct. Started the game trying to go around the outside. That certainly worked down the other end of the field, but anytime they've been attacking the line, they've looked a lot better when they've played straight.
Caesar pushes the Tigers once again out to an 8-point lead here, 11 from half-time. The Tigers 14, the Bulldogs 6.
Jake Simpkin in for his first game of the season, replaces Appy Coruscant, and it came off the back of this great run by John Bateman through the middle. Simpkin assesses the situation and finds Fanua Bolle, and we spoke to Appy Coruscant in the pre-game. The good news is for Tigers fans that it's a hip kind of issue that he's having at the moment that's causing muscles to not kind of work as they should, but he expects that he should be back next week, and a good try there for that young man. Fanua Bolle, still only 21 years of age, averaging 60 minutes per game and 100 metres a game at the moment. A real find for the Tigers.
Game 41 in the NRL for Bolle, so plenty of experience now, pushing up towards 50 games, and here he is again. They had the confidence to challenge to keep the ball in Tigers' possession. And the referee had ruled it had been knocked on by him. They win the challenge. He crashes over, takes the kickoff return as well. He's having quite the appearance off the bench here for Benji Marshall. Here is a knock on against the Tigers. And this one might hurt once again inside their own end.
Yeah, looking to move the ball again out to that right-hand side. Aiden Souza realised that that left edge with Burton had got up a lot harder than what it did previously. And kick out there, just changing pace, accelerating in. And the ball just bobbles out of the grasp of Souza. He's had some ebbs and flows this first half. It's been big blocks of possession to the Dogs, then the Tigers wrestled it back. The Dogs then got some more, and now the Tigers, with 10 minutes to go before half-time, just invite the Dogs back into their half after finding that second try, and an all-important second try.
Josh Addo-Carr with the scrum feed.
Times change, Warren.
They certainly have. The Dogs have it, though, at the 20 as Sherry plays. It comes to Josh Curran. He just work it forward while Hutchison and Burton get themselves organised. They're both out here on the right-hand side of the field. Marnie goes left to man. Been the old rope-a-dope there, trying to convince the Tigers they were going to the other side of the field. Marnie goes short again. Kick out up against Caesar. Makes a good tackle with some help there from Naden. He got there with the first contact. Good work by Naden. Marnie, now man, finds Hutchison, shows it, takes them on again. Backing himself to try and charge through as he did to set up the try for Kurt Mann. Marnie, flat there for Burton, out the back. Taff bounces away from Justin Olam. Did enough to hold him up, and that will be the changeover. Tigers inside their own 20 have cracked just the once so far in this first half, in stark contrast to what we saw last week against the Broncos.
Yeah, Simkin from the field, Latu Fainu out there now, going into that dummy half position for the Tigers.
We've got an 18-year-old dummy half, an 18-year-old playing 5'8", and Benji Marshall made mention of that during the week at a media conference at Concord HQ, saying, look, our attack will come, but we have got some kids playing important positions and some big minutes for us at the moment. Fainu is one of those. Here is Caesar, throws a dummy, grabbed there by Kickout, and now there's a problem. One of their kicking options, grabbed there on the last. Galvin swings to the right-hand side to fill Caesar's role and gets it away in time as Taff will bring it back here. Carraz. Oh, they're so difficult to grab at the first contact on those kick returns. A stop there inside the Bulldogs 30.
Yeah, I've liked his mentality. I know he got ragdolled there by Viliami Kickout, but he's had a real run mindset this afternoon. Aiden Souza, and defensively he's had his body up in front. You always tell a half's focused and ready to perform when you see their physicality. And we've seen that from Souza to start this first half.
Curtis Moran doesn't mind a bit of physicality. Hook carry there, and Marnie jumping out from dummy half finds Bailey Haywood. Is also on deck now. Hutchison comes across to Crichton, who chips it behind. Buller is there.
Gee, that was poor from Hutchison. Played on the front foot. Was a really good play the ball on the back of the run from Haywood. Marnie gave him some nice service. Just needed to put the ball into the corner. And a poor intercept from Canterbury.
Bulldogs feeding in here. We saw them do this to great effect against the Newcastle Knights 2 weeks ago in that big win. Their defence, yardage sets when the opposition were bringing it away from their own 20 was outstanding at times, and their defence has improved dramatically. And what it was, they're the fourth-ranked team coming into round 9 defensively in the NRL, conceding just 18 points a game, and here they are forcing a mistake on Papali'i. Hutchison cleans it up, knocked on there by Blake Taff. It'll be a knock on in the first instance by the Tigers.
Yeah, Fainu just holding the ball too long. That's a poor pass out of dummy half up over the shoulder of Appy Coruscant. And a few words said there from kick out in the face of Isaiah Papali'i. Watch that battle. That'll start to unfold. He won't forget that, Isaiah.
There's no doubt the speed of the defensive line coming at him, including Big Bill.
Yeah, just the little subtleties of a 5'8" having to move into dummy half. And the pass only needs to be marginally off at this level, and you can see errors like that start to unfold. Unfortunately for Fainu, just too high on the pass.
Carraz with the scrum feed now. Both wingers have had a scrum feed. Tick that box for the Bulldogs here this afternoon as Crichton plays it. Marnie comes across to Curran, who will work it down to the edge of the 20. Hutchison with an arm raise, wants it now, and Marnie obliges him as Burton swings to Taff. Here's Carraz. Good defence though. Ryan Marlaw is there to take him to ground, 8 metres out from the Tigers line and midway through the set. Burton. He finds Marnie. There's Haywood. Hutchison. Kickout. Runs towards Charlie Staines, and the pass from Kickout looked forward. It's going to be play on. Addo-Carr has it, keeps it in field, but boy, the pass.
That's ridiculous.
Comfortably forward. Marnie. A real break there for the Bulldogs. Curran trying to get an arm free to offload it here, still working his way towards the line. And the Dogs have one more play. Marnie. He'll find Haywood. shows it, gives it to Burton. There's Taff, steps back on the inside of Olam, finds Burton eventually, back to Curtis Moran. They've got numbers there, but Moran kicks. Buller, awkward one, keeps it in the field of play for the Tigers.
See, how was that let go? The offload from Viliami kick-out rolled along the ground and went 2 or 3 metres forward. The touch judge right in front of it. Addo Carr just dives on the ball millimetres from the sideline. Look at this. He throws that dead set 2 metres forward. Addo Carr has to crawl on his knees forward just to pick it up.
You saw the reaction of Aidan Caesar blowing up deluxe at the referee at that non-call. Tigers hang on anyway. And off the back of a penalty, they'll work it away from their own end as Isaiah Papali'i resumes acquaintances here with Viliami kick-out. Confrontation that will develop throughout the remaining 44 minutes of this one. Bateman stands, offloads. A number of them from him already in the game. Here's Galvin. Tigers getting a little bit sideways there again. And there's line speed. The Bulldogs stopping them inside the 40. Need a couple of good carries here. Buller, he puts his hand up. Gets dropped onto his back, though, by Crichton over the top. Slow play the ball again. They're struggling here for metres in this midfield situation. Boy will play it. Fainu from dummy half. Goes through Bateman, flat pass there to Twal. No more than flat as Caesar puts it in the air. Taff is standing underneath it, goes to the air. Some contact there with Charlie Staines, who was dropping off on the effort. Whistle not blown, and it's play on here for the Bulldogs as Addo Carr will surrender in a tackle. 3 out from half-time. The Tigers 14, the Bulldogs 6. Good catch there. Replay by Taff. And now Perez gets them going in the right direction. We'll play it here just inside the 30 from Haywood. An extra option in the middle of the field.
It's a number of times this first half, isn't it, Warren, where they've sent a lot of their attack to this right-hand side, the Bulldogs, yet we haven't seen them really unlock their left-hand side yet. Love to see them just in the early parts of the set come towards Justin Olam and Galvin to really open up that left-hand side attack.
Hutchison with the kick. Tumbling one down to Jareem Buller, who was well positioned. They'll bring it back, and the Tigers begin here, 15 on their own side of halfway. A good set here with the ball. In possession close to the Bulldogs line at the end of the set. Soleil Marlaw ends up in an awkward position there in the tackle of Reid Marnie. And there might be a bit to look at here.
Yeah, it's just this last little bit of lifting motion there from Marnie. Penalty sufficient.
Coming down on the flat of his back, and no doubt he'll be placed on report and has been as a result.
Gee, big minute and a half here, Warren, for the Bulldogs, isn't it? Because at times in this first half they've looked like the better side, but the Tigers just been grafting away.
Here's a chance. And it's Bolle who goes inside the 40. Team 15th at the moment. Top against the Bulldogs. It's Galvin. Stop there, 30 out from the Dogs line. Fainu at dummy half. It's 12. Down to 5 or 6 there. Haven't really got that rhythm going through the middle of the field, the Tigers. On the extremities, they've had success. Set restart here. So they should finish with the ball in their hands, barring an error between now and half-time. We've got 60 seconds remaining. Galvin comes through Bateman. Caesar, big shift here. Buller spinning back on the inside there of Burton. Kick-out thinks he lost the ball, and the touch judge agrees. There'll be no challenge this time from the Tigers. So a promising end of set there never eventuates. Benji Marshall will be hoping they can just hang on here for a play or two. Take this 8-point lead into the sheds at half-time. 2 tries to 1 in the opening half. Charlie Staines got things going. Lovely try scored from the Tigers from inside their own 20. Maybe 30+ metres. Here's Burton chipping for Addo-Carr. He's got the jump on them, ends up with it, gets away from Buller, kicks again. Sherry is there. He's leading the chase, winning the race though. Brent Naden had a hand in it, and Justin Olam saves the day for the Tigers. What a play to win the opening 40. Watch this again. Beautifully weighted by Burton, grabbed by Addo-Carr, had the awareness to put in a second kick. Sherry up against Staines, and then Olam it was who grounded the ball to save it for the Tigers. We have got a good one here in game 1 of 3 on Super Saturday. A huge play. Justin Olam from the far side of the field wins the race there and saves it for the Tigers, with the siren having already sounded. An 8-point lead without Coruscant on deck. It's Caesar who gets things underway for the second half. Warren Smith along with Mick Ennis and Jake Duke to take you through the second 40 minutes here before we build up to that clash in game number 200. Cameron Munster and the Melbourne Storm take on the Gold Coast Titans. Addo-Carr, who went so close to pulling off a remarkable try at the back end of the first half. Bringing it back there, carried backwards, and now Josh Curran also going backwards. He stopped here just outside the 20.
Curtis Moran in a bit of trouble here. Hasn't got from his feet after carrying the ball off the kickoff.
Kick out, tries to work it back in behind the play. The ball left Bateman on the ground, gives it off to Blake Taff, but they set upon him pretty quickly. Moran now rejoining the line for the Bulldogs at the end of the set as Burton goes high, but end over end here to Charlie Staines. Never easy no matter how they come down from Matt Burton. Staines makes a good catch, and Moran is there. Immediate fitness test for him. Looked to be okay as Naden brings it outside the Tigers 20. A bit of a shoulder problem or something for Curtis Moran there. He was flexing that shoulder as he rejoined the line on that chase downfield on the kick. Looks to be okay. Comes from Galvin. The Tigers through. Fanua Bolle will play it here. One of the two try scorers in that opening half. Crash ball for him from Simpkin. Push them out to this 8-point lead as 12 plays. It's Caesar under pressure there again from Marnie, who gave him a chest bump. Contact deemed okay, nothing untoward there. Taff, some room to move on the kick return, brings it back beyond the 30.
Yeah, inspiring stuff that from Reid Marnie. His kick pressure to start the season has been absolutely elite as Carraz finds a way through the Tigers and gets an offload.
Comes back to Taff, who thought about keeping it going. Burton was there, but he takes the tackle. Burton flat on this left-hand side from kick out. Sherry. He's got a good try 2 weeks ago against the Knights before the bye last weekend for the Bulldogs. As Kickow feeds it back through Burton. Comes to Moran. 2 passes wide from the sideline though. Nothing doing there for the Dogs. Marnie goes to Hutchison. Here is Burton. Jamin Salmon straightens the line as he heads towards the 20, and here is the last for the Bulldogs. Short side. Burton will kick. Chasing through. Carraz is there, but leading the chase on the leap. Nice piece of work there by Solomon Alayamalu, and he'll play it there for Galvin. As Olam plays it just outside the Tigers 10, we go downstairs to Jake Duke.
The message at half-time, guys, from Cameron Ciraldo. Just wants his side to play a bit more football like they did at the end of that first half. Almost came away with a try right before the break. Just wants the ball in the hands of their strike players. Stephen Crichton and Bronson Cherry saw plenty of ball to start the game, but then it dried up towards the back end of that half. So he wants more ball for them. For Benji Marshall, really pleased with their urgency in defence, the way they scrambled to save that try at the end and the way they defended to start the half. Just wants them to keep chancing their arm and using their width.
No chance to use their width on this occasion as Taff brings it back. They were under pressure there, and the kick, a shallowish one with Caesar pretty much on the back foot. A poor set of yardage carries from their own end, and so the Bulldogs have it already on play number 2 inside the Tigers 40.
Yeah, it's been a response for Cameron Ciraldo's men, the Bulldogs. They're winning the field position battle to start the second half, no doubt about that.
Owen here fights back to his feet from Marnie. It goes to Hutchison. Burton. Kick out on the outside of Maiden. A big fend there on Caesar as well. They'll stop him a metre short. With a head of steam up, he was something to stop. They managed, but only just. Burton goes to Marnie. Here is Hutchison, who grubbers through the line, turning them around. Curran! It's Curran who leads the chase and wins it to score for the Bulldogs. Listed to start in the front row. It was set up by that man, though. Viliami kick out with that charge down the left edge on the outside of Naden.
Yeah, rampaging run, trademark from kick out. The big right-hand fend just bustled his way through the tackle there, or the attempted tackle of Suze, and then nice work. Watch the ball here from Marnie. Bullet-like into the hands, summed up perfectly by Hutchison. What a signing he's been, Josh Curran. Came off the interchange bench this afternoon. He's become a real focal point of their attack through the middle of the field with his skill and his pass. And this time just out-competing the Tigers defenders at full speed. Desperation gets there, forces the ball down. And Josh Curran gets the Bulldogs right back into this game, and it's been a good start for the Bulldogs in this second half.
Boy, the Bulldogs points there. The put down by Curran was something to behold.
Yeah.
The way he just reached out with the left hand and put the hand on top of the ball. Well, it was on the ground, all good there, confirmed by the bunker, and Matt Burton brings the Bulldogs back within 2. They earned that chance off the back of the defensive set.
Yep.
The Tigers were really struggling from inside their 20, and then kick out put them on the line. And then the speed here with Galvin, Buller, Elaine Marlaw, all there. They just couldn't go with Josh Curran.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. You're right, the put down was special, and he's enjoying that too. Seeing the scenes there of the Eastern Grandstand here at Accor Stadium just rise on their feet as they anticipated Curran winning the race. Haven't seen that for a while for the Dogs fans. There's some real hope now. Back in the game, down 14-6 at half-time. They've got themselves within 2 now. Here's Moran.
Brings it back. No dramas this time around as far as that shoulder problem from the previous carry is working from their own 20. Here's Addo Carr. 2-point game. Just on 34 minutes remaining. Both teams desperate for a win here today. The Bulldogs to continue the momentum they built up a couple of weeks ago against the Knights, looking for back-to-back wins for the first time this season. Tigers trying to break a losing streak after some impressive performances earlier in the year against the Sharks and also the Eels. Haywood from just outside the 40. Last play here. A little bit of interference there from Bolle coming back through to play the ball. No call. Juggled there by the Bulldogs. Carraz stepping, trying to stay alive. Pops it out the back. Here's Hutchison, still the last, and that will be the changeover. The Bulldogs thought there was a touch there by the Tigers.
That they've played at it, did you say? What are you looking for? Yeah, okay.
And Stephen Crichton says, we're going to challenge this.
Yeah, and you can see the reaction.
Coming into tackle 6, we've got a captain's challenge from the Bulldogs on the decision of last tackle handover. They're looking to see if Tigers played at the ball. It was
60-metre gain from the Bulldogs after the Curran try. Just simply not good enough from the Tigers.
Okay, a one-on-one tackle. Samuel Fainu plays at the ball.
Yeah.
Now need to determine which direction it goes. It's a knock-on by the Tigers.
It's picked up anyway by the Bulldogs. So it's 6 to go. Hutchison
just
does
looking
well.
to determine what happens next. Drew Hutchison is tackled. The challenge is successful. It'll be 0
Great
tackle
challenge.
for Drew Hutchison.
Huge challenge.
It's a day for successful challenges.
Yeah.
3 now in the game, 2 to the Tigers, 1 to the Bulldogs. An important one right here. They'll have possession from 10 metres out and trailing now by just the 2. Stephen Crichton says we'll play it from this point here. There's Carraz. He got it going there by keeping the ball alive at the back end of that set. And they end up getting the 6 again call. Marnie Comes through Haywood. Curran, flat pass there for Burton. Caesar jamming in. Does well to help out John Bateman in particular, along with Papali'i. Marnie, short ball, back through the middle. Moran taking some stopping there. Tigers desperate to hang on here on their own line. Pass bounces up for Burton. Caesar gets to him. He's tall though, Matt Burton. Takes some stopping and eventually he is dragged to ground by Simpkin, who's back out there. Hutchison goes to Haywood. Nothing doing in the middle of the field. There was a collision with Moran. And now it's Marnie who finds Burton. Grubbers in behind. Sherry, was he taken there on suspicion?
Yes,
Did they take his line away from him? This might be more than just a penalty.
Yeah, just a penalty, escort. Yeah.
Well, massive block of possession here to start the second half for Canterbury. And it's Burton injecting himself a number of times down this left-hand side, just dabs it in behind Sousa. You can see there Naden just clearly changing his line. The crowd filthy. They're baying for a penalty and a sin bin. Cherry taken off the ball by Naden. And the Bulldogs now with an opportunity to level the game up.
You'd imagine they'll take the two here available to them. Really, Marnie just trying to calm things down, use up some time, but Matt Burton now with the ball in his hands. Trying to make it 14 points all. Naden just turning his back, but taking the line away from Bronson Sherry. As he figures he had no alternative there, but you just see him just move in there. Staines, I think, was always going to win the race, and that's why it probably wasn't a professional foul, but we've seen ones like that in the past end up with a player going to the sin bin.
Well, the Tigers just simply haven't come out with the same energy defensively in the second half as what they left the field with in the opening half. Showed great resilience and fight defending their line speed, and their inability to win contact to start the second half. The Dogs are just rolling through them.
Burton with the strike, bends it back. We are locked up here at Upcourse Stadium. 50 minutes gone. Matt Burton adds to. Cameron Serraldo a lot happier than he was at half-time downstairs in the Bulldogs dressing room at 14 points all.
Yeah, Benji Marshall, on the other hand, though, he'll be disappointed with the energy that his side's come out with to start the second half. The Dogs just out enthusing them, just running harder. Great support around the ball. Got a number of offloads to start the second half. And a lot of the good stuff coming from their 5'8" Matt Burton.
Caesar with the restart. Goes down to Burton. Moran will bring it back. Put the brakes on slightly, and the Bulldogs thought there might have been some contact high on the undersized forward at O'Carr. Bring it back here to a midfield situation. Give them an option either side of the play the ball from their own end. Josh Curran, a speedster.
Been a bit quiet today at O'Carr, hasn't he? We haven't seen a lot from him. The flyer, he had some great moments before the bye for Canterbury.
His best moment so far was on that chase on the kick from Burton as the siren was sounding at half-time, which almost produced points. Marnie for Sherry. Grabbed there by Brent Naden. Good battle that one between two similarly sized outside backs. Burton. From the sideline they work it through Bailey Haywood. Last play here from the halfway line. Hutchison in a space out there on that right-hand side. Crichton puts it through the hands. Carraz kicks it back infield. Floating backwards. Good catch made by Lockie Galvin.
Yeah, really nice play there from the Bulldogs on the last, running the footy, recognising Malo is deep in the pocket, and you can see here it was Carraz that was able to get on the outside of Olam, kick back infield. Galvin doing a great job getting back there.
Charlie Staines here trying to get something going for the Tigers. They have struggled for these metres at their own end since the resumption. Now Bolle takes a tackle at his own 40. They were off their line very quickly there, and Caesar has to loft it. It means a Blake Taff will catch it on the full and have plenty of metres available to him here on this kick return. And the Dogs begin already outside their own 30.
Yeah, got some smaller forwards on at the moment, the Dogs, and the one luxury that you get with that is that little bit of extra leg speed, and you can see their pressure on the kicker. Caesar from Marnie, Haywood, Moran, the smaller forwards there through the middle doing a great job to put him under pressure.
7 plays it. Seeing to Crichton, who Cameron Serraldo said during the week is like a second coach, an on-field coach during the game. He brings that. It'll be a set restart. Pretty much had to be as Marnie works it away from dummy half. The Tigers trying to slow things down there artificially. It has them under huge pressure here again. Curran goes inside the red zone with Marnie waiting at dummy half. Burton and Hutchison out there on that right-hand side. And that's where they head. Halfback gives it to Burton. Shows it, takes them on. Grabbed there by Galvin and also Fainu. Hutchison, it comes to Curran. And Caesar. Awkward looking tackle there. He ended up going over the back. Bateman and also Caesar. Watch this again and see if there's anything untoward in this contact.
Yeah, it got ugly, didn't it? This just Curran twists in the tackle here and Caesar just pulling him back over his ankle there, loses his legs. That's really ugly. Trapping him with his legs and all the weight coming down on the back of the ankle there of Aniki Nose. This is sin bin territory, this stuff.
It certainly is. We've seen that established. Once again, in games before this one today already in round 9. I think he's resigned to the fact that he's going to be spending some time off the field here, Aidan Caesar, and that's going to put massive pressure on the Tigers. Without Epi Coruscant already on report, and he stays on the field. Well, that is stunning. If that is worthy of being placed on report, given...
Well, that's why we had those ones where they got sent back.
Given already this round we've seen a player sin bin for a hip drop, I can't believe Aidan Caesar stays on the field.
Yeah, no, it's just so hard as a commentator to be able to give people a clear understanding at home of what the ruling's going to be on these type of tackles, because that is a sin bin every day of the week from what we've seen. Aidan Caesar, to his credit, he's not deliberately trying to do that. It got ugly on him. He apologises there to Curran, but that doesn't matter. It's a sin bin. From what we've been told is a hip drop tackle. That's a hip drop tackle.
At this venue 2 nights ago, Isaac Tungor, a hip drop tackle on Jai Gray of the Rabbitohs, sent to the sin bin. Aidan Caesar here, a hip drop tackle, as we just saw, on Josh Curran, and stays on the field, and that's where you get confusion.
Yeah, absolutely. And Burton steps up now, puts the Dogs back in front.
And that's not a call on the on-field referee. The bunker is there. They had a look at it a number of times in replay. That's the bunker's call.
Correct.
And they have to tell the referee in that situation, this is worthy of being a sin bin offence.
Well, the reaction from all the fans, they were stunned. Couldn't believe that this man Aidan Caesar still on the field. And thankfully for Josh Curran, he's also back to his feet and able to continue on.
That is good news for Curran and the Bulldogs. Oh, it kicked off out towards the sideline. Adokar could have had a foot on the line and got his team a set of 6 from the halfway line. He makes the catch. They have it from the 20. Now a long ball there over the head of Moran. Ends up in the hands of this man, Reid Marnie, who had eyes on the play. A good thing as well. Otherwise, that could have been ugly for the Bulldogs. Here is Curran. He is okay, and that's the best news possible as they'll play it here from inside their own 30. Haywood.
Stand up now.
Taking a long time to take the lead in this game after the Tigers had it in the opening minutes. And now the kick goes down here to Dream Buller, who will bring it back and play it at the 20 for Wes. They need to show they can work it away from their own end here and get themselves some pressure at the other end, because they've had none on the Bulldogs other than kickoffs off the back of the 2 penalty goals.
Yeah, love that from Marnie. The early kick, driving it deep into the far side of the field, in behind Buller, and now the Dogs' defensive line responding as they've done all season. Their line speed being a feature. They are teeing off on the Tigers now.
Uta Ikamanu tries to get something going on his hands and knees. He plays it eventually. Twal, good speed there. Bring them back towards the halfway line. He was thinking about an offload, but Curran stops him, and now here is Galvin. Pinning it back towards Taff. Nice trap, using the turf well. Steps his way back beyond the 30. The Bulldogs still winning these sets at either end of the field. So it's Graz. A 2-point lead here. Not quite midway through this second half. Beyond, of course, full time. Pre-game build-up to the Titans and the Storm. And now Burton into the backfield. Open them up. Crichton pushing through the middle. Here's Bronson Xerri, though, on the outside. Xerri runs away. His second try as a Bulldog. And they open up a 6-point buffer.
Yeah, and it's the Bulldogs 5'8". I said everything that's good happened in this second half has started and finished with their 5'8", Matty Burton. And running the ball, getting a little adventurous. Jake Duke said at half-time, that were the words of Cameron Ciraldo, wanted to unlock a bit of their stars out on the edges. And this time it's Burton, just a mismatch there with speed with Papali'i. He did well. Great tempo, slowing up, just kept Buller in two minds. Was he going to go to Crichton on the inside, who was looming? Or was he going to go to the speed of Bronson Xerri on the outside? Looks in, plays out, holds Buller beautifully. And the Dogs find their second try in the second half, and it's been all Matt Burton. Brilliant work from the Canterbury 5'8", running the ball.
Second time in the game, Aidan Caesar has been exposed back on the inside. You saw his reaction there on the Harvey Norman replay as Burton just threw a dummy, and with his speed, he had options on the inside through Crichton. Xerri was there, but Caesar opened the hole for Kurt Mann to score in the first half. Admittedly, the Tigers were struggling on their own line at that stage with that one. Just got to respect the threat that is Matt Burton in that situation.
Well, you just saw there some winning actions from their captain, Crichton. A break down the left-hand side, and who was the first bloke there supporting from right centre? Stephen Crichton pressing through. What a difference he's made to this lineup, showing great leadership at winning actions again from the captain. And Burton's form continues to rise in 2024. It's been sensational, the Dogs 5'8", growing in confidence every week. All started at Shark Park, and it's continued on.
He sticks it across the black dot here. It's an 8-point lead now for the Bulldogs. What a change since half-time. They lead it 22-14.
Matt Burton, that's 4 try assists in his past 4 games, really finding form at the right time of the season. As Mick, you mentioned at the start of the game, could he feature in Michael Maguire's Origin team? Plenty of options of where to play Matt Burton. He's back to his best that we saw a couple of years ago and finds Bronson Xerri for his second try back in Bulldogs colours. And the Dogs, they were down 14-6 at half-time, 16 unanswered points. What have the Tigers got?
Speaking of Origin, Jake, it kicks off here on Wednesday, June the 5th at Accor Stadium. New South Wales versus Queensland. You can go to nrl.com/tickets to make sure you are here to see if the Blues can bounce back. Take a series off the Maroons, the Shield holders, coming into 2024. And the Bulldogs off the back of tries to Curran and Xerri. A couple of penalty goals added as well. And very unlucky not to be playing against 12 men at the moment off the back of that hip drop tackle by Aidan Caesar. Haywood here, 20 short of the halfway line. Bulldogs predominantly crowd, very quiet in the first half, and found their voice in this second 40 as Burton, and 15 on his own side of halfway, will kick down here. Goes to Jareem Buller. Oh, Viliami kick out. A man on a mission there. Charging hard down this left-hand side. He was desperate to get to Buller. Buller might have seen him and said, I'm running in the opposite direction to you.
Yeah, it's a huge shift. He is so good in that part of the game. His kick chase and his willingness to go after opposition outside backs and really set the tone for the set. Boy, they missed that last year. He only played limited games for the Dogs. But now really starting to find some rhythm and some form with some consistent performances. He's been huge for them, kick out.
Caesar, the halfback, taking a carry. He'd done well also until the ball comes free.
Wasn't he? He has no impact on that, and he's just making a tackle.
Great courage here from Aiden Caesar. Trying to grab the game by the scruff of the neck as it's starting to get away from them, the Tigers, and it's that man Kickout just reaching. Came from marker, desperation stuff there from Kickout. Just reached in and grabbed the right arm of Caesar. That was enough to dislodge the footy right on halfway. And a turnover now for Canterbury.
Now the Tigers are on the rev limiter when the halfback takes a carry like that through the middle of the field, but then opens up a chance only for Kickout to save it. Barking instructions here.
Look at the domination there in the statistics in the second half.
Almost 3/4 of possession. Burton kick things off to begin this second half. Burton here. Seyfarth on deck now for the Tigers. Involved here again in this tackle on Josh Curran. Marnie pointing to the space on the left-hand side of the play. The ball wanted Haywood there. He said, yep, I'll tip it on to Max King, who will get hands on, drive him backwards towards the Tigers' 30s. Hutchison goes to Burton. Left, now he's right. Crichton is there, back on the right edge. Comes back to Hutchison. He lost about 15 to 20 metres here on this play. Hutchison gets going in the right direction, but has taken the ground. With 2 plays remaining in this set. Comes from Marnie through to Haywood. Now King trying to straighten things and head towards the uprights. One more play here for the Bulldogs. So a set of 6 that's gone nowhere in reality. Marnie chipping in behind them. Elaine Marlow gets back there to come up with possession. Tries to beat them back into the field of play. Nice work by the former Waikato chief.
Yeah, did well there. Nice kick, nice option there from Marnie. Just couldn't get their chase right, the Dogs, and he swooped on it. Got himself out of the in goal of Staines now. Looking for someone to link to on the outside.
It's an offload away as well. Galvin is there. Play on is the call. And now Buller through the middle. Gives it back to Galvin. He runs towards Taff. Steps back on the inside. Tries to hold off Burton. He had Olam there looming up on the left edge, but never saw him. They're just outside the 20. From Simpkin. Caesar back on the inside. Buller taken down there. Terrific tackle by Haywood with Curran over the top. 6 again for the Tigers. Caesar. Clemmer goes inside the 10. An opportunity here for West to close this gap midway through the second half. It comes to Caesar. That ball there for Bateman, who wasn't really at any sort of speed. And he took the pass from the halfback. Very slowly. In fact, he can't get back to his feet. Now he's clutching at a lower leg. Trying to give the bunker some time here to take a look at what happened in this contact. One-time Tigers trainer Pete Musa on field here. It's going to be play on. The Tigers desperate for the bunker to take a look at it. And it's time back on. 3 tackles gone in the set. Caesar comes to the middle of the field where Seyfarth takes a carry. Well stopped by King and also Curran. From Simpkin. Caesar again finds Galvin, shows it to Olam, comes back towards the middle of the field, pushing through. Naden stopped there by Kickout. Big tackle made by the edge forward. Last play here. Galvin will chip it. Out wide is Staines up against Addo-Carr and Viliami. Special K. He's there to make the catch. 2 big plays at the end of that set.
Yeah, the big white mop, he's been everywhere. You can see that hairdo from a mile away here at Accor Stadium. And the minute that they got tapped back inside there from Staines, Kickout, he's too clever. He's all over it. Look at him here in the replay box. Positions himself perfectly. Tireless work from the big edge forward. He's been terrific again this afternoon as Salmon starts to examine his way across field.
Play 5. Crichton just takes some metres available to him and gets them into decent position for a kick here at the end of the set. From Marnie goes back to Hutchison from just inside the 40. Goes down the middle of the field though for Jareem Buller. A couple of lovely touches in that previous set linking with Lockie Galvin. And the back end of the game, maybe it's Jareem Buller time here for the Tigers. You get the impression they need something, a tiring forward pack being outplayed in the second half by the Bulldogs, and it might be the outside backs who dig them out of the hole. Good stop though. Staines coming in for a carry, grabbed there by Burton. And here he is again, working from marker, doubling up on the work. We're at the 40s. Seyfarth comes out to Caesar. Main kicking option again. Caught with the ball on the play before the kick.
He's lucky to get away with that. Crichton came in late into the ribs.
Galvin under pressure. Heaps of pressure. Curran was there, so was Marnie. The kick goes sideways. Naden, he's doing the can-can. Staines has it. Still the last here. Buller goes back to the left-hand side.
Yeah, a little problem here with Bateman and Curran.
Whistle. What happened in the backfield?
Yeah, a bit of a drama here with John Bateman, Curran, and instantly Casey Badger said, I need you to check that. I need you to check it.
David.
And the Tigers still blowing up after the shot from Crichton into the ribs of Caesar. And Naden wanted nothing to do with that. He could hear the footsteps of kick out pressing down on him.
What are you doing, Matt?
You know, it's been beautifully worked there by Josh Curran. John Bateman grabs him and gives him the opportunity to do what he did and milk it for a penalty. And Bateman's blowing up. He just can't give the player the chance to go to the ground.
Here we go.
And there might be further action here.
I tried to work with you and your team in the first half, okay? Making it clear now, if they come at me like that, someone will sit down.
I respect that. Just run on the back. No, it's totally respect that. Just on the back with it. We've got penalty.
Mate, this is about your team. Fix it up.
Yeah, Johnny Bateman just letting Casey Badger know that whilst they're getting a bit of frustration, and obviously she's under pressure here verbally from the Tigers players, that it has been penalty, and Bateman just reminding her of that. The Dogs now with a chance to put a killer blow here into the Tigers with 14 minutes to go. Cherry.
Is there, stopped by Bateman just outside the Tigers 10 as Marnie waits at dummy half. Look it back through Haywood. And that link roll in the middle of the field to good effect here for Cameron Ciraldo again today. Marnie for Hutchison. Here's Burton showing it, taking them on again. Nobody falling for a dummy on that left-hand side. Seyfarth was there, so was Galvin. And it's Marnie. Now at first receiver. Bounces off some bodies there. Haywood caught up in that. He went to ground. Now he'll do the honours from dummy half. And play number 5, it's a chance for Taft to go over the top. And okay, nowhere to go there. Does he stay in the field of play? If he does, he's a genius. Somehow he did. Good work by the Fox. Hutchison kicks it across the field. Elaine Marlaw coming forward, leaps above everybody and makes a good catch.
Well, someone's got to take it personally here as Olam steps up to carry. They're leaning on his experience. The Tigers out on their feet. Here's the late offload. Buller now.
Taking some chances at their own end. As perhaps they have to now. Trailing by 8. Just inside 13 minutes remaining. And Caesar moves it back into this right-hand side where Uta Ikamanu is stopped there pretty comfortably. Simpkin. Staines is infield again, but didn't open up for him the way he envisaged when he came in looking for a chance to use that speed of his. Simpkin goes back through Seyfarth. Here's Caesar. Shift. Galvin. A bit to the outside there of Crichton. Stopped on the last. They've gone sideline to sideline, and as a result there'll be pressure on Caesar. Haywood was there, and the kick is shallow. Might end up coming down in no man's land. Seyfarth was there. Like he got a touch and knocked it on. It's play on it anyway with the Bulldogs having it through. Addo Carr comes free.
From the first knock on from Alex.
And there will be a touch by Alex Seyfarth, judged to have been a knock on.
Yeah, nice competing there from Seyfarth. Caesar, he has been under immense pressure from the kick pressure of the Bulldogs in this second half. Didn't hit it perfectly. Seyfarth coming through well. Casey Badger said he got a touch to it. And as Addo Carr tried to come back infield, just copped one just across the face there from Seyfarth, dislodged the ball. And no advantage. Back in the Bulldogs' hands. Carraz has been terrific in the second half. He's up over 120 metres now carrying the ball.
Dogs 10 on their own side of halfway. Burton comes out here to kick out. We've got the Titans in the Storm following this game. And then the Cowboys, an all Queensland affair against the Dolphins up there at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Putting pressure on the Cowboys in that game later tonight right here on Super Saturday.
It's a concern for the Tigers, isn't it? Sort of 14 points seems like their limit as Marnie kicks early. Here comes Crichton.
Coming across, Buller gets to the ball first. Crichton is there though, leading the kick chase, and along with Hutchison, they drag him back inside the 10. And you always figured scoring 20 points a real issue for the Tigers here. They've averaged 15 points in attack to be the worst attacking team in the league coming into today's game. And well, the defence has improved on last year, and you're only scoring an average of 15
look at that,
per game.
Warren.
It's going to be tough.
Galvin, the young 18-year-old, just passing the ball out of dummy half to Jareen Buller. No one wanted the footy. They're 8 points behind with 10 minutes to go. They've been in front 14-6 at half-time, and poor old Lockie Galvin just begging for someone to put their hand up to carry the ball. Here's Clemmer.
Look at that carry. Play before the kick. Caesar from inside the 40, looking at the sideline and aware of that. Blake Taaffe was positioned beautifully. Realised from inside the 40 there was a chance that Caesar would be targeting the sideline. And look at across the field for Carraz to be stopped inside the 20. It was a nice piece of work by the Bulldogs fullback. Here is Crichton.
Been terrific, Crichton.
Crichton on the right-hand side, Kickow on the left-hand side, Burton as well. A real Penrith influence about this Bulldogs lineup, quite obviously. Jamin Salmon and the team in 2024 also. And who do they play next week, Mick?
The Panthers. It's going to be an absolute belter.
Three-time defending champions. Will be a cracker. Here they are, just outside the 40. Last play for the Dogs. Being so improved than what they showed in the first half. Staines allowed to leave the ground and make the catch, and as a result, Kickout couldn't hit him with everything he was worth. The Tigers again from inside their own 10. And look at this line speed from the Bulldogs. This is where they've improved so dramatically this season.
He's been enormous in leading that through the middle of the field again this afternoon, Reid Marnie. Whether it's putting pressure on kickers, whether it's his early kicks down into the corner to maintain pressure on the Tigers, or getting off his line and whacking blokes, Marnie's been superb.
Clem up once again. Play before the kick, but they brought it back only just beyond the 30. Caesar, kick out, looming large in his windscreen. Not the kick away, but he lofts it down there to Blake Taaffe and gives it off to Addo Carr. So safe up. I like his chances there of muscling over the top of him, but the forward able to accommodate the winger.
A couple of changes now for Cameron Ciraldo as he looks to close out this game. Kurt Mann back into the action. Haywood off the field. And Curran coming off the field also. So the starting forwards back out there with Sam Hughes. Also in the middle as Crichton looks for another carry. That's his 7th of the afternoon.
100 metres now in the game for Stephen Crichton. Big metres for a centre. The way the game is played in this day and age. And one more here for the Dogs from just outside the 30 as Burton will loft it again. There's a kick into this corner, making Buller work it away, or Charlie Staines. It's the fullback this time, wrapped up by Bronson Sherry, and it's all they have to do. They lead by 8. As long as they don't make a mistake at their own end, they're getting the ball back at their own 30, if not their own 40, limiting the metres here for the Tigers. And here we are again. Tackle number 3 about to be made, and Staines just outside the Tigers 10, and they've been camped here for almost this entire second half. Long ball there. Inu looking out very wide. They pick up some metres, but they're up against the sideline here. Bulldogs up in their face at the advantage line. Caesar and a step back on the inside here of Burton. You go to the sideline, you take a chance there at the middle of the opposition defensive line, coming up and really limiting what you can do on the next play as Galvin looks inside, comes outside. Naden goes to Staines. He chips in field. Here's Jareen Buller loping into the action. Coming across though, Carraz is there beats the tackle of Staines, spins away from Seyfarth, runs towards Simpkin. What a piece of play by Jacob Carraz. And we've got a Tiger who goes to the bin. Viliami Kickow wants to mix it up with Alex Seyfarth, and guess who arrives on the scene? He can't help himself. Marnie's involved, as always, when there's a minor flare-up.
He might be a headbutt here, Warren. Marnie in agitating. They were absolutely livid, the Dogs players, with the work from Seyfarth on Carraz. Curran come flying off the bench to the sideline and was barking at Seyfarth, and then Kickout took matters into his own hands. Clemmer's gone to the bin in amongst all this.
John, I'm just explaining it to you. John, I'm just explaining the rule to you.
So David Clemmer sent to the sin bin for dissent. And we'll have a look at what happened here between Seyfarth and Carraz, which Viliami Kickow resented, and then it really escalated once. Yes, Reid Marnie, who was there with Jack Hetherington at this venue 2 weeks ago at the end of the game. Seyfarth there was okay as far as the contact was concerned. And then you saw the reaction of Bateman when the referee sent...
Just watch this.
To the
Marnie comes flying in.
You're leading with the head.
Yeah.
It's on report and you're in the bin. We're not discussing anything.
So for the flare up there, and in all honesty, Reid Marnie, for the second game in a row, probably should have joined him there for being the third man in and really escalating.
Just look at the Dogs here. Look at the Dogs supporters just going to the tunnel. They've already given it to Clemmer as he's gone up there. And they're piling over the tunnel here into Seyfarth. Things are getting hostile here at Accor Stadium. 2 in the bin now for the Tigers. And Marnie remains on the field.
They'll finish the game with 11 men. That's it as far as the sin bins are concerned. But third man in that situation, and he's a repeat offender quite obviously. Reid Marnie, as he did at the end of the game against the Knights, should have been marched once again here.
Here's the headbutt there, or leaning in, from Seyfarth. All right, well, here we go.
He gets away with it here, but he's going to cost his team in a game at the back end of the season, which will mean a lot more than what this one does today if Reid Marnie keeps taking that attitude to being the third or fourth man in and trying to escalate things. The flare-up had nothing to do with him. He gets away with it this time around as Burton comes out to kick out. Back on the angle now.
Geez, the Dogs fans are up and about here. There is a real energy now in Accor Stadium.
13 versus 11. It's like the Tigers are a soccer team. Here's Marnie. Comes across to Hutchison. Olam infield looking for a big shot. They've used up 4 plays with this 2-man advantage. Marnie pushed there by the marker. And it's Olam who comes up with possession for West.
Yeah, 2 huge plays from the former Melbourne Storm centre. Dally M Centre of the Year, Justin Olam, came jamming out hard when they were under pressure.
Well, the Tigers have coughed it up though. Max King dives on it. The referee says play on.
It's carnage, isn't it?
Max is smiling. It is all happening. And now there's a whistle. Sam Hughes pouring into the backfield. He can't believe the whistle blew. It's a double knock on.
Gee, poor old Casey Badger. It is hostile here in the middle. It's coming from everywhere.
All right, we have a captain's challenge from the Bulldogs on the decision of knock on. It was ruled first off Kurt Mann and then off the Tigers.
Let's take a look and see what happened here. Well, there's been a bit to look at in the last couple of minutes, hasn't there?
It certainly
the
has.
ball
There's
is
the
offloaded
offload
by the Tigers. Now, and Kurt Mann knocks the ball on. The ball is then knocked on by the Tigers. The challenge is unsuccessful.
It's a bit of luck there and something falling for the Tigers.
And the fourth captain's challenge of the day.
Here's the naughty corner.
The two boys discussing things. David Clemmer, I think Seyfarth's probably saying, what did you say to set that off? And then Clemmer's probably saying to him, a good thing Viliami kick out, didn't turn you into dog food.
He was cranky, big Billy, wasn't he? Out on the edge.
Aiden Caesar.
He'd be disappointed, Benji Marshall, with the second half of his side. As we see a good shot there from Burton on the much younger Lockie Galvin, who's been terrific. He's been one of the best for the Tigers today. He's 14-6 at half-time, doing so much well, the Tigers, in the opening half. And they certainly came out lacklustre, and the Dogs have capitalised on their lack of energy.
Caesar goes to Galvin, but Stephen Crichton with this two-man advantage. They're up in their face. They're just feeding in. And now they've got the Tigers shot to bits here as far as energy levels are concerned. Bateman, it's Crichton again. Second tackle in a row. He leads the line off that right edge. What a role he has played. Now Caesar, as they go wide. Buller inside their own 10. They may as well have a crack. And they're down 2 men. They trail by 8 points, and there's less than 3 minutes remaining. Nader goes to Galvin. Somebody's got to kick it, though, and Caesar kicks from inside his own 10, out wide. Tap back infield. Elaine Marlaw was there, but it ends up in the hands of Drew Hutchison eventually, who makes the tackle, and the Bulldogs will have it deep inside Tigers territory.
And great response from his teammates getting around him. It was a good tackle. Nice kick from Caesar. Good vision. Out to the much bigger Ola Marlaw. Crichton came across, and there's Hutchison cleaning up the mess. And the Dogs, can they capitalise now on this two-man advantage that they have? The Tigers with just 11.
Work it forward through Jamin Salmon. Burton and kick out. And like one last play at them here on this edge, given all the space there is in the Tigers' defensive line. Sam Hughes here. Drag him back to the 20-metre line as he'll play it eventually over the top there of John Bateman, who's doing everything he can to slow things down. There's Taff, set up on there by Aiden Caesar. They've used up 3 plays. 2-man overlap there somewhere. Can the Bulldogs find it? Here's Mann off the right foot, straight back through the middle. That's where the space was. Straight down Main Street. There's a whistle, though, and not a good one for the Bulldogs. The call is no try.
This will get an obstruction if the lead runner stops in the line.
Well, it certainly opened up for Kurt Mann. And it's Hutchison into the line, finds Mam out the back.
Sam Hughes is in front of the ball and stops in the line, which denies Stefano Utoikamanu the chance to defend. We have a decision.
He gets up limping a little bit as well, Kurt Mann, off that dash to the line. It's been remarkable that the Bulldogs have this 8-point lead. They have the 2-man advantage and haven't been able to score in a couple of shots against the Tigers at this end of the field. They've got the game in their back pocket.
Yep.
And they'll improve their record to 4 wins and 4 losses. And if you'd said before the beginning of the season that given where they were last year, 7 wins, 17 losses for the Bulldogs to finish in 15th place on the ladder, you said to their fans they'll be on the edge of the 8 and 4 wins, 4 losses after 9 rounds. They'd have taken that gladly.
Yeah, and there's a great energy with the Bulldogs fans and in amongst the playing group. As we see an error here from Samuela Fainu. And it sets up what will be a blockbusting
Tigers
game next week against Penrith.
Still have their challenge here. It will be a blockbuster. I think the Tigers have taken too long in the opinion of the referee. Well, no, it's the longest 10 seconds you've ever seen.
He did ask me before it. All right, Jerry, we have a captain's challenge from the Tigers on the decision of knock-on from Tigers on the ground.
Takes 10 seconds to run 100 metres for the best runners in the world, Mick. I think they could have run 400 metres in the time in this decision being made and the challenge actually being made.
Well, I think she'll be happy to get home on the lounge, Casey. It's been an eventful afternoon. Are they saying that first...
Tigers retain possession all the way through the tackle. The challenge is successful. They play the ball tackle 1 with Samuela.
Nice challenge from the Tigers.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen a team challenge 3 times in the one game and get all of them right? Rare day for the Tigers. They are going to end up on the wrong side of the scoreboard. 22-14. We've got 40 seconds remaining, and then the build-up begins. The Gold Coast Titans taking on the Melbourne Storm. Game 200 for Cameron Munster, and we'll do it all again here with the whistle not being blown to get things back underway for Samuela Fainu. Time back on. We're underway at last as work it through Uta Ikamanu. Look at these Bulldogs feeding in the back end of the game. They changed the game in the opening minutes of the second half with their defence.
Great tackle, Hughes, on the inside there.
They realise Buller is the threat through the middle. They do have the 2-man advantage in the defensive line, of course. Now, an eventful second half. Tigers, at the beginning of it, they led pretty comfortably. And now here is Bateman. Comes through the hands. Galvin will kick. Coming across. Reid Marnie ends up with it. And the celebrations begin here for the Bulldogs at Accor Stadium. Cameron Ciraldo, his team responding to whatever he said to them at the break, and they needed something. Benji Marshall will rue what was a golden chance against the Bulldogs when they led them 14-6 going into the sheds at halftime. At full time here today, Stephen Crichton's team, he was enormous for them as well. They've taken down the Tigers 22 points to 14.